In this video, we'll be adding a sticky footer to our website, and an example of a sticky footer can be found right here on the official docs under the examples link. So if we go down here to almost the very bottom, we can find the example of a sticky footer. So it says we can pin a fixed height footer to the bottom of the viewport in desktop browsers with this custom HTML and CSS. So in order to use this custom HTML and CSS, of course, we need to see the source code. So I'm going to go Control-U to open the source code to view source. And besides the regular Bootstrap code, we've got the sticky footer CSS. So I'm going to open it in a new window, and I'm just going to Control-A to select everything and Control-C to copy it. And now let's look at our SCSS and CSS files. So we know that everything is in the assets folder right here. So let's go CD assets, and I'm going to go dir to see the contents of the assets folder. We've got the CSS folder and the SCSS folder. The SCSS folder contains all the Bootstrap partials, and the CSS folder only holds the main.scss file. So if I go cd css and then dir, I can see that I've got only main.scss file. And the reason to have only this file is so as to call all the other SCSS files from the SCSS folder from this one main file, because this main file is the file that's going to be compiled into the final code that's going to be used by our Jekyll pages. So let's go simply code main.scss to open the file in our editor, and we can see that we are only importing Bootstrap right here. So this is just simply a copy-paste operation. So we're pasting in the sticky footer styles, and we are not going to even look at all this code right now, except we are going to delete this custom page CSS because we don't want our containers to be max width of 680 pixels. It would mess with our design. So we're going to delete this, and we're going to keep the sticky footer. So I'm going to say Control-S to save everything. And one last thing to do is to check the size of our footer, because margin bottom refers to the height of the footer. So let's see how high our footer is right here. If I go inspect, it's going to open the DevTools, and now I can see that my footer height should be or actually maybe not the footer but the whole container, and the container size is 40 pixels with padding of 24 and 8. So altogether that's 72 pixels. So we need to change this code right here to the height of 72 pixels. And now I'm going to just go File, Save All, go back here, hit refresh, and of course we need to start our server again. So I'm going to cd into the root of the project, and now I'm going to go Jekyll build, and I'm going to follow it up with Jekyll serve, and now that it's serving, we can go refresh, and something is not working right. So I'm not sure where the issue is. So let's see what's going on. So obviously this code right here is added to our code, but it's not doing what it's supposed to do. So if we go maybe Control-U we can see that we've got the main CSS, and let's try to find these 3 lines of code. So if I Control C, then go back here, Control F, Control V to find it, and it's not finding it. So what about just locating this specific line? Control C, Control V, and it's right here, so we can see it at the very bottom of the file, but for some reason it's not doing what it's supposed to do. And I think the only other possible reason could be that we need to add something here. So let's see what we've got in the sticky footer page. We've got a footer with a class of container, and the position is absolute. So if I go back here, of course, I don't have the class of footer, so I need to add it to my code. And once I do add the class of footer to my footer, it should work. So let's open the footer, and we're going to do that by going to the bash and saying code _includes footer.html. And now I could add the footer class here, or I could just copy everything and just paste it in. But let's try to go with adding the footer class right here. So if I go footer, Control S to save it, and back in here we're going to restart the Jekyll server, and if everything works as I expect, we should have our page behave correctly, and that's not the case. So to avoid further complications, let's just do this. Control C, Control V right here, and let's add the background info right here, and let's delete this one. Actually, not delete it, but let's copy the copyright text, and now we should also have the text center and the text white. So we're going to delete the text muted. So we kind of made a hybrid between the two code snippets. Let's save it. Let's try to, and it looks good. It looks like it's working. Finally, let's deal with this text sticking to the left side. So the issue here is simply this span class. So instead of span, we're going to say p, and let's toggle word wrap, and we're going to close the p tag. Control S, and once I hit refresh, the text is going to get centered. The footer is sticky, so if we open this one right here, we can see that. We can see it also in the contact page, and that's it for this video. We've accomplished quite a lot, and in the coming videos we'll be dealing with styling in a bit more detail.